We put today's event on to bring together organisations and leaders, clinicians, patient representatives, everybody who's involved in patient and public participation. And the idea was really to look at how across North West London could people work together more effectively on quality and safety. How can those people work together, involve patients and the public more effectively in actually making things better? We started the day with a kind of get-to-know session, and we brought a couple of actors in to play the role of nurse and doctor.
You feel there's a conflict between doctor and patient?
No, that is what we want to avoid.
When we talk about patient engagement, we forget about the role of the nurse and the doctor and how does it work for them? What does it mean to them? They're sometimes just as nervous as a patient or a family is of raising these issues and tackling them.
There's a lot of self-diagnosis going on at the moment, which is problematic.
Well, I agree, the internet...
It was really quite disruptive. It got people to think a little bit differently.
I thought people were going to get upset when they found out they were a bit, there were stooges, but actually it generated the conversations that we needed to hear.
It really did bring out some of the more controversial elements of the subject that we're talking about, and I think it helped out those at the very beginning, and it was quite entertaining as well.
I'm going to introduce you now to a model which is called appreciative inquiry.
We've suggested an appreciative inquiry approach, partly because the area of patient and public involvement is so contested.
You've got a lot of people with very diverse needs, and the thing we needed them to do was not focus on the past, but actually focus on the future and focus positively on how you improve things. And that's quite tricky with people who've often been involved in things that have gone wrong, or they've suffered some kind of harm.
What are you really proud of? What worked really well?
I think taking an appreciative inquiry approach is exactly the right way to do this. So for you as an anaesthetist, there were no complications, things happened on time, she was nil by mouth for a period of time, she wasn't waiting all day, all of those things worked. If you think positively first, it's easier then to think about some of the negatives, and it's easier then to think about the solutions, to think about what we're going to put right. But what satisfies her? Is it that she can go home and go to bingo next week? Is it that she can have a conversation with her? What matters to her?
If we always focus on the problems, we head down. If we're looking at what works well, we're building up and we're building forward.
What I would love is that we each had our little personal, daily, timely feedback in a little thermometer on how we were doing.
Could I call your performance measures your Fitbit of quality?
Yes! We used visual minuting, and we used artists to capture people's views so that when this is shared, people can all see what they think.
Having an actual case on your wrist made it more personal and real and involving.
Just the feel of the event was very different, and it'll make people who aren't plugged into this patient quality and safety to actually take a look at what the outputs are.
I'm so excited by today. There's a real buzz and an enthusiasm in the room, and I think that there are people here who really want to make a difference, and I'm feeling very hopeful that actually what comes out of today we can actually take away and do something with. That's really important.
So a website for North West London, and then inside each borough it will have the different services that are available.
People are coming up to me and really saying how exciting they found today and how they've got renewed enthusiasm for engaging patients.
If you want to be put into contact with anybody here, do let us know, because we really want to encourage that collaboration. And thank you all for coming.
There is so much potential in human beings, whether they be patients, clinicians, managers, and there's so much energy and intellect and creativity that if we just enable that and bring people together, fantastic things can happen, and I think we saw that today.
Kinetic is a very good description. The whole place is charged. I can hear it now out there. It's non-stop. It's non-stop.